Put your red shirt on and a brown coat too. Everybody's joining the crew. We got just one drink that we rule them all. Hope you remember your thoughts. Get your Uru hammers and your Middle Earth guns. A sonic screwdriver or a sword plus one. Usually when still it will get you to come. To the Geek Tank. To the Geek Tank. The Rocky Mountain Geek Tank.
Hi, I'm Guy, and this is Geek Tank. So it's just me today. So we're going to go on ahead and there we go. Hi, Brent. So Troy is visiting family out in Kentucky, and Chelsea is visiting family out in here. So what I thought I would do is let's go on ahead and let's travel a little bit with No Man's Sky. I'm wearing my uniform. You see my uniform here? I'm wearing my uniform. I'm ready to travel. You could have joined me, but then you wouldn't be able to watch No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky. Okay, so we're all ready to join No Man's Sky. Except that I need to move this over here. But I will. There we go. There is us. And we are ready to join No Man's Sky. And I'm going to wear my glasses so that I can read what you say, Brent, when you say things. You're going to say things. But I can't see out of my glasses at the moment. I'm going to fix that. All right. Are we ready to join No Man's Sky? All right. When we start No Man's Sky, we have the option for playing the game or multiplayer. Obviously, we're going to play the game. I already have 239 hours in on this game here. These two are actually my kiddo's games because before I got him his own copy. So there's that. So let's go on ahead and join the game. Now we'll start. We'll start. I just went black. There's nothing really here. Nothing to see. There we go. So in actuality, I've discovered that this is actually traveling through the star map. It's kind of cool. And it's pointing out stars, which are randomly named, which is kind of cool as well. And some of those are like, yeah, okay. But it is kind of cool. So the No Man's Sky is a procedurally generated game. The game is completely procedurally generated. And that means that everything here that happens in this game is set up and rigged from a mathematical formula. So when you look at all of these things, it's using a basic mathematical formula to render the entire solar system and things like that. The trick behind computers is that computers cannot actually randomly do things, right? So a computer cannot actually pick a random number. So instead, not you. Instead, what it does here is that it does a predictable random. So it's random, but it's predictably random. So if you give it what they call a seed, then it will always generate the same number all the time. So this is a game that's based solely on the concept of one seed, right? All right. Computer's online.
Thanks for telling me.
You're welcome. All right. So this is my base. We'll start with my base. Boop-a-doo-boop-a-doo-boop. We head outside. I actually have been building quite a bit on this base. I have a lot of walkways going around different places and everything like that. My ship lives right over here. Here's my ship, right, on the launch pads that I built. Here's my little museum of things and places that I have visited. Isn't that kind of cool? Places that I have visited. Of course, it's space. I can throw the switch, and when I do, all my lights come on out here. These guys actually are kind of an interesting sign. I'll have to show you what the sign says. All right. The ship's called. Of course, I still love you. We'll make a slow turn. Head out real quick. I am getting a little bit of a slug, I think, here from trying to share. All right. And my sign says. I'm also easily entertained. All right. Let's go higher. I need some more altitude before I can land. All right. So he says falling off of a little cliff. I'll show you around the base real quick. Kind of give you the tour. These guys are, I call them sail noses because the females don't have sails on their noses, but the males do, and I didn't know that. So these are my greenhouses. If you guys are playing, you can hit the little computer up here. It says harvest all plants. Yeah, it is a little laggy. I'm taxing it quite extensively doing all of this. Now, the reason that I have this set up, by the way, is this. In here in our inventory, you can see that we have all of these various things here. Gosh, I've got building stuff going on. I need to drop off stuff at my... Of course, I didn't know that I was playing tonight, so... Hey, George. Good to see you. How you doing? Okay. In this storage unit, I am carrying all of the stuff to make circuit boards. We will go out exploring in just a second. I have to do all the maintenance on my character real quick because, like I said, didn't know I was going to be playing today. I think I heard a Geck talking. That sounds like a very Gecky thing. George has decided to join us a little, but not really. So I usually just park my ferrite dust in here because there's so much ferrite dust now that it just is silly. And right over here, I store basic chemicals like sodium, carbon. I keep my oxygen always on me because if I ever need to recharge, it's really sucky if you have to recharge your you have to recharge these guys along there. And now I will show you what I was doing. Sorry it took so long there, guys. Sorry. Now we can put all of these in my suit inventory. And then I can craft now this and this, right? And I can just keep crafting them until I run out of resources, right? So what I'm doing here is just crafting a whole bunch of these. And now I'll craft some circuit boards. The thing is, the circuit boards are amongst the richest or most valuable things in the game. So, if you ever want a secret as to how to, I keep looking over there like it's going to tell me what's going on. If you ever want a secret to how to make a lot of money in this game, it's circuit boards. Because I'll sell these circuit boards, and I can sell 9 of them for $6 million. Doesn't look like they're going down in price though. I think somebody's figured this out. Somebody's figured me out. Something like that. Okay. Now that we've done that, let's go on ahead and head on out real quick. Chips flying overhead. So I'll get into, of course, I still love you. And we'll lift off from the base. So on the other side of the base, on my base, right here, we have down this ridge, we have the portal. We can use the portal a little later. On the other side of this ridge here. Why are we crooked? Oh, there we go. Now we're going crooked. So that's a portal gateway down there. We can use it to go to other planets if we want down here. This guy here. The planet we're on is called Earth Ring. Last time I played the game, I built this amazingly long stuck stairs right here, which, that's all right. Okay. One of the amazing things about No Man's Sky is that it's a complete box. Everything is one unit. So here we go. I'll show you exactly what we're talking about. I'll boost, and then press to orbit. Right? So there's no transition in No Man's Sky. You just go from being on the planet to being in orbit. The base is back here. Sometimes hairy flying. But you can see that we're kind of traveling along the rings here. It likes to add rocks. The ships have three different kinds of engines that they use. There's the normal space thrusters, which you're seeing here. There's the pulse jump, which we'll use in a second. Going through the rings. Gotta love the rings. Now we're on the underside of the rings. So we've passed through the rings of Earth Ring. All right. To do a pulse jump, we aim at another planet, then we hit the space bar, and we pulse out. And I'm not going to lie, it's a pretty game. Seconds. If he pulls me out, he's going to be in for a fight if he pulls me out. They like to fight me. But we're not doing fighting today. All right. Now press into the planet. This planet's kind of a nasty little planet. It's got a lot of bad weather. It's very high radioactive. Not a fun planet to visit, but you know what? We got nothing better to do. Let's go take a look. The clouds you're seeing there are because we're in a storm already. So there's some kind of high radiation storm here. Ooh, there's a place to land. And so I will. In No Man's Sky, if you land on these pads, you don't have to use up fuel. So okay, let's take a look. What do we got here? Not as bad as I suspected. Oh, so you can see on the bottom left there my radiation count. That's a yellow bar telling me that the radiation level is really high on this planet. It changes when I go inside. So I'm in a little tracer here. We got a dude. He seems grumpy. I don't know. Maybe I'll just, kind of sit here and say, well, so, how's the wife? Kids? Okay, well, see you later then. Guess you didn't want to talk to me. I don't know. Well, in each of these bases, we can go do various things. Like they've got a different kind of gun in here that might be cool, but really the truth is you look at it compared to yours, and usually it's not as good. But you can compare them, and that's kind of fun. I always look here to see if there's anything that they're selling that's useful. Not really. Nothing really useful. Okay. So, part of the fun of the game is the exploration levels. It's kind of difficult on Red Roxbury because this is a pretty brutal planet. It does have some cool creatures. Some of these creatures. The red dots mean that we have not identified them. Once you've identified them, you get more units, and they become part of your inventory. So you'll notice though the movement of those creatures. They're moving in herds now. See how they're all kind of turning. They're schooling or herding now. This is the newest update on No Man's Sky. Has them actually like herding. Don't panic when I get near them, of course. I'm going out on the plains out here, just kind of looking around to see what we got. Okay, so now we're starting to suffer from radiation poisoning. Interesting structures up there. All these icons tell me a little bit about what's going on here. I'll snag these stegosauruses while I'm here. Got herds of these guys running down the hill. Oh, they're all running away from me. Now you can feed these guys, and if you do, they can ultimately become pets. Don't run me over here. Let's take a look around the rest of this planet and see what else there is to see. Now, looking around here, really, there's always sort of a number of life forms on the planet, and somewhere along the line, there will be a rare life form of some sort. Okay, we'll press it a little bit. Bet you that pirate's still out here waiting.
Warning. Threat detected.
Really? I don't know if I find him much of a threat. But you know what? I'll give him my rockets and see what happens.
Warning. Threat detected.
So he's disabled my pulse drive, but he also doesn't seem to want to really actually engage with me, which doesn't surprise me. Seems to already know he's kind of in bad shape here. So I'm just going to cruise slowly and take it. It does kind of look like the Death Star. Hi. Yeah. I need to get something better for a cooling system on my missiles. Patch one.
Ships deleted.
Okay. So once we're out into the main system, my ranking has increased because, of course, I kill everything. Yeah, my rockets are the ones that make me sad, though. Those rockets overheat with one launch. And it's like, really? I just need better rockets. So I put a base on Nukari. Helix, by the way, is our engineer, Kevin. So he actually discovered this planet, it says, even though I discovered the planet, but that's okay. Out here, you can use the photon cannon and the phase beams, and when you shoot the asteroids, you get minerals and things like that. And some of them require a lot of shooting, like this one. This one will give you a lot of silver, and you can. Then, when the freighters arrive, there's always going to be. Be careful not to run into a freighter like I just did. So the freighters will talk to you and ask you if you'll help protect them and things like that. Sometimes they'll want to join your fleet if you've been playing long enough. But the truth is, we're going to look for the starbase. The starbase is right here. So let's head for the starbase. Yes, there is indeed multiplayer. And that's how Kevin has been screwing around in the system. The thing about No Man's Sky is that there are 18 trillion planets. So we're spread out. I have had one person visit my system that I didn't know. And he messed up all the stuff too because he kept rediscovering everything. And then it came back into the game and said all of this stuff had been discovered by Bob. And I was like, I don't know who that is. So the space stations are sort of a critical part of this game. My wings go right through the gantry. That's nice. Okay, so now I'm still yellow around the edges for all the radiation I have. So when you go into a starbase, you can talk to all these people, and they give you different tasks or things like that. This is also where, in these bases, where you can get maps, and ultimately it's on the other side, but you can also get upgrades for your ship. Now, there are four races that you'll run into. There's the the Corvax are these guys. It's like computer guys here. They're Corvax. These guys are Viking. They're kind of interesting fellows. They Aha! We're back. We're back. So that was wild and strange. Now, I like the fact that it's saying we're having trouble streaming to Facebook. Yeeks. Because I think Facebook finally gave up. Well, I'm back, so telling Brent that I'm back on Twitch. Well, there we go, guys. So we're back here, but only on Twitch, and it looks like YouTube. That was sort of a horrible thing. But that's okay. Yeah, we just had a household outage. Like all of us went down. The internet went down here, and it was off completely everywhere. So that's all right. It was an interesting, if not fascinating, experience. So that's all right. That's okay. I went on ahead and shut down No Man's Sky to get everything kind of squared away so it was clear. But now I'm kind of doing we did what we could. We did the best that we could on that one. I'm feeling like now we've got a messed up system. It's not back on Facebook. It's not coming back on Facebook. So we tried. So that was a rough one. Sorry, guys. I think what's even worse is I think Facebook gave up on me just as I connected. So I think it was like, well, I guess he's not there. And it gave up on me just as I connected back in. So, oh well. That's fine. We'll go on ahead and close the show out. Might as well go on ahead and do that because there's no one watching anymore. We've lost all of our signal and everything went bad. And so there you go. There you are, Brent. I can see you. Although you're not showing up as one of my viewers, which I find interesting. That's okay. In fact, it's showing 0 viewers. Facebook's crashed out completely. Looks like I've got sort of connection to YouTube. And I mean, I'm just looking up here and I'm like, wow, what a mess. So nothing handled that crash very well, which, doesn't surprise me. Does not surprise me. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on ahead then and call it for the night because I've closed No Man's Sky over here. And clearly we're going to knock all of the internet down, which that I don't think had anything to do with what we were doing. I think that was just a normal internet blip. So, well, and it's kind of funny because like we were doing pretty good there. We were having kind of fun, but we happened to be at a portal gate in the base, which was perfect because then I could just walk through the portal gate and go back to home base and save and clear the game. So it wasn't so bad. If you guys want to join me tomorrow morning, I will be working on texture mapping my new models that I just built in Blender, which will be for set work. So we'll be building sets for Bellatrix Rising. So that's kind of a thing. Be a lot of fun. We got a number of little bits and pieces that need to be straightened out and done correctly and everything like that. And there is one thing that I have learned, though. Good old Alexa here runs on the internet. Listening is great. That's just fine. I know that it's one of those things that you do the best you can. I'm all about it, my friend. You do what you can do, and that is awesome. So we'll go on ahead, and since we do have crashed out systems here, and I can't tell if people are watching or not, first thing I will do is real quickly remind everybody of our sponsors. Our sponsors are Shiny Garden, Geekway Homes, Kieran Games, and your mom. So we'll be we'll try to get a better show for you next week. This time was just really limping along. Weren't doing so good. I won't be here next week, but Chelsea and Troy should be. And in theory, I may be back the following week, but I may still be in transit. So we'll have to see. I don't know. Any which way, it's all good to see you guys. I've been Guy. And this is Geek Tank.